head. People kind of know what to expect that way.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
And now I guess we can look at the portfolio if you want.
Yeah. Looks like the first piece here is the Miss Hattie's Southern Cooking Restaurant.
Yes.
Is this a real restaurant that you signed this for, or is it like a spec job?
These are projects I did, most of them for school.
Oh, okay, cool.
And we were given the choice of either choosing some of their projects, some of their businesses, or we could create one our own. And I created this one on my own.
Cool. I like the white checkered tablecloth. That looks nice. A lot of southern restaurants these days like that tie-in.
Thank you.
Let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit.
My teacher I had in this course where I created this had given me a few tips on it, how to make the layout work a little better, especially for the part of the salads and all. She said that was a little too spaced out as compared to the first page.
Right. Yeah, you want it to be easy to read so that people know, what the price is. Just moving the price over closer to the name would probably help a lot. And you might move that about us up a little bit and give desserts a bit more space that way too.
Okay.
Let's see. Next, it looks like the National Park brochure. This has got your cartoons in it, right? Is this kind of the direction you'd like to go?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Are you into like internet comics and things like that? Do you read some of those?
I have. I mainly do the ones from the paper like Peanuts and Garfield and all.
Oh, yeah.
Those are ones that I'd like to do.
There's some really good internet comics like XKCD and the Oatmeal and some others. People have, a lot of them were graphic designers who just did it on the side for fun, and then it took off, and now it's their full-time job.
Okay.
So hopefully something like that will happen with you too. You've just got to keep at it, and a lot of it is so humor-based. You gotta be funny too and draw well, which is kind of hard. But yeah, have you ever looked at sites like Fiverr or Upwork for doing illustrations?
Did you say Fiverr?
Fiverr,
I believe I have heard of that, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't know if I visited it or not.
Yeah, you should take a look. You can sign yourself up, and people can hire you for a job, and so they want a quick illustration, or they want you to create a cartoon of them or their friends, stuff like that. It would be fun, quick jobs, but you also get paid for them too.
Oh, okay.
And then Upwork would be good for larger scale jobs where people are looking for illustrations across a larger project. But both those sites would be good to just kind of get your feet in the water and see what's out there and get some painting work coming in for illustration.
Okay. I didn't even know you could do the online comics like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Polar Express cover here right now. See, on the front cover, did you do this in like crumpled paper and actually construct this yourself?
Yes, sir.
Or was that all in Photoshop?
This was all pieced together by itself.
Cool. I like the design of it. I think it looks really nice. I might try a different font for the title, something a little bit bigger and bolder that might draw more attention to it.
Right.
Something that's a little more stylized. With the illustrative effect you've got going on, it might be cool to have something that is a hand-drawn type font, or like a cursive style brush font that kind of loop around in there.
Okay.
Just add some visual interest to it.
Something to catch the eye a little better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like your Titanic illustration too. The font you chose for it, it's very appropriate for the medium you're using there.
Thank you.
And see, practice makes perfect. The perfect practice makes practiceperfect.com. Boy, that's a mouthful.
That's actually a friend that's doing that business, and he asked me to do a logo for it.
Very cool. Yeah, it's always nice to be able to do stuff for your friends.
Right.
Is that your friend and his son, their silhouettes or something?
Yes, sir.
That's cool. I like that.
Do you have any suggestions for that piece?
You might try making the font a little bit bigger. You could even stack the words. Maybe perfect practice makes would be the top line, and then the second line would be practiceperfect.com, and kind of space those out so that it's a little bit easier to read. Because when you look at it from a distance, the letters are just going to kind of fade away. The illustration is nice and bold, but the name of the business just kind of gets lost there at the bottom.
Okay. And do you see any problems with the like the gradient of the sun and all?
Sure. Gradients, if you're going to try and do something in one color, like embroidery or vinyl decals or things like that, you really can't do gradients without printing them. So you're giving your clients as many options as they can to produce logos is always the best. So whenever I do design a logo, I always start in black and have everything in one color just to make sure that it works that way. And then on top of that, you can build in other variations, but keeping it as simple as possible and the ability to work in one color is always of utmost importance with logo design, especially.
Okay.
And then the Forget Me Not. I like the colors and everything you've used here. It looks nice. As far as the product packaging goes, I guess you probably could use real images. Have you ever kind of been looking at stock image websites like istock.com or deposit photos or anything like that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it might help just to add some visual interest to have some real photos in there.
For this project, the Forget Me Not, we were to create this part with all pieces that we created ourselves. That was the only obstacle I really had in creating this one, because I couldn't get pictures of all those types of things that I needed for it.
Yeah, I would be sure and outline what you just told me in the brief here before the project. I didn't see that in there.
Oh, okay.
That everything had to be created by hand. Knowing that, it would be easier to kind of sell them on the idea of it. Or even if you would take some pictures yourself of some of these objects, phone and keys and things like that. And you could stylize them in your illustrative style, but just kind of have that real object to go off of for reference.
Okay. Yeah, thinking back, I should have done that.
I really like your personal brand with the triangles overlapping and the teal and that light red color. All plays really well together, I feel like.
Thank you.
So, I think that's about the full extent of my comments on that. Did you have any other questions or anything for me on that?
Not really, except on the stationery that I did in the portfolio.
Yeah.
Especially the business card. Is that going to be eye-catching enough to get people's attention, like if it's on a bulletin board or something? Because I look back at it and I think it might not be.
If your plan is to put that on bulletin boards and things, I would make sure to say explicitly what it is you do. Even if that's like a call out on the bottom or kind of a bolder section that would say illustration and graphic design. Just something that is clear and concise, and people know immediately when they look at it that's what it is. Like CA designs, I could guess what that might be, but there's nothing on the card that says explicitly I'm a designer or an illustrator. That would help people who are looking for that sort of thing connect with you easier if it says explicitly on there I'm a designer. So they know without any confusion that's what they're looking for.
Okay. All right.
But I think the colors and everything look great, and that'll certainly stand out. You don't see those colors used very often. So you don't have to always go neon yellow to get people's attention,
Thank you. And yes, that's all the questions I had for you today.
All right. Cool. Hey, well, good luck with your project, and good luck in future design work.
Thank you very
If
much.
anything else, or need some advice or anything, just feel free to email me or shoot me a Hangout notification or whatever. I'll be glad to help.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.